Hey, Shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashimi Havashai, Bahashim Kakadash, Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God, Yahweh Shah, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. I want to give a double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone, who has taught me this truth. I want to give a peace and blessings to the I came across the four corners of the earth who teach this truth, and rest I'd like to do. So it's going to be a quick video. Lord willing, the video is edifying. Lord willing, I can get something from this video. Basically, what this is going to be about is us hearing, and us understanding who we are in the land of our captivity. Right, and indeed, America is the land of our captivity, the captivity of the Israelites, and that was prophesied about in Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Right, if you read Deuteronomy 28 on down, which I did a video on this, right, you will understand that the curses identify with a specific group of people. It does not identify with any other nation. And if you truly believe in the scriptures and you truly believe, in the Most High, you would be able to put two, well, if you truly have the spirit, you'd be able to put two and two together. But for the most part, the majority of people don't, and the majority of the people don't want to have it or want to understand because it's not in them to understand. And this is prophesied about. That's why 2/3 of Israel is going to be destroyed. As it says here, they're stiff-necked people, right? 1/3 in the elect, which the elect is a part of the 1/3, is going to be brought through the fire. Okay? But indeed, right, this is prophecy, is what I'm about to read. And if it wasn't true, then I wouldn't, and men like myself or brothers wouldn't be making videos saying the name and speaking Hebrew and, and you know what I mean? And going into these things and putting off because really the Lord is, is show you the truth. The Lord is the only reason, the fearing the Lord and understanding is the only reason why we put off wickedness and we put off the old men. Okay, the majority of the world don't know the Lord, so they're not, and they don't want to know the Lord because that requires discipline. It's hard. It's a hard walk. It's doable, but it's a hard walk. You know what I mean? It's not easy, but it's doable. Okay, it's real doable actually. And the Lord doesn't put too much on you that you can't bear. But most people don't have any regard or fear of the Lord because they don't understand the Lord, and they don't want to understand the Lord, right? But that's another video for another time. Let's get into this. This is Baruch 2:30. It says, "For I knew that they would not hear me because it is a stiff-necked people." And who's more stiff-necked than the so-called black man, Native American man, and the Mexican man? Who's more, or Latino man, I should say, because they're, Issachar is one tribe, but you still have, Simeon, you have, you have Ephraim, you have all these other, nations that's a part of the northern kingdom. Right, it says, for I knew that they would not, that are all Latino, I should say. For I knew that they would not hear me because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves. And right, this is indeed the land of our captivity. And if you don't believe me, again, you can read Deuteronomy 28, verse 68, and it tells you about an Egypt, a different Egypt, because understand when that was written, we were already out of Egypt, right? So when the curses was given into the Israelites, right, we were already out of Egypt. Okay, so but it speaks about another Egypt, right, which this place is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, and this place has many different names, right? Basra, Babylon the Great, the virgin daughter of Babylon. This place has different names that it represents. Okay, it says, but in the land of their captivity they shall remember themselves, right? And we are indeed remembering ourselves. It says, and we are truly the Israelites of the Bible. Okay, it says, and shall know that I am the Lord their power, for I will give them an ear and it's like it, for I will give them an heart and ears to hear, right? And to prove that, right, when you go to Hebrews, the 10th chapter, which I always refer to that chapter, right, it tells you that we are illuminated, right? That's the Lord giving us eyes, it's like it, that's the Lord giving us ears to hear, man, and eyes to see. Okay, so to speak. This 32, it says, and they shall praise me in the land of their captivity. Are we not praising the Lord in the land of our captivity? Is this not the land of our captivity? Do we not open up every video and say, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai? Do we not say that? We say that, right? We even say it on the highways and byways. It says, and they shall praise me in the land of their captivity and think upon my name, right? And think upon his name. So we had a peon-minded person, right, who knew he was an Israelite but didn't believe that the name was out. Well, scriptures tell you, and this is prophecy, in Baruch 2:32, that we would think upon his name, right? And the scriptures also tell you that he will turn to us a pure language. That pure language is Hebrew, right? And his name is in Hebrew. And if you don't have the name, who would you call on in the time of salvation? In the time of trouble, who you gonna call on? Okay, so some of you guys is if you put common sense in a lot of this, but common sense isn't common. Okay, obviously, right? Common sense is actually a gift to have, right? It says, in return from their stiff neck, and they return from their stiff neck and their wicked deeds, right? And the people who did this, right, is the elect in the 1/3, because it's in us to do that. Lord willing, I'm part of that number. It says, for they shall remember the way of their fathers, which sinned before the Lord, and I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be lords of it, and I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. Okay, it says that the Lord said he will bring us into the land, bring them again into the land, which brings us into the land again, which means that we're currently out the land. That's why scriptures tell you in Zechariah that a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod. That's also prophecy, which a bastard does dwell in Ashdod. And if you go to Isaiah, the 2nd chapter, and read on down, it tells you that once we're in the land, the true Israelites are in the land again. They're, in the Most High's law and the way of how we're supposed to live is established at the top of the mountain, which mountains represents governments, that there will be no more war or violence in the land. And is it clearly war and violence going on in the land? It says, and I will bring them again into the land which I promised an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but they shall be lords of it, and I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their power, and they shall be my people. Right? It says, and I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them. Right? Again, we were driven out of the land. That's why when you go to Deuteronomy 28, verse 68, it says, and they shall no more see it again. Okay, in the 68th verse, right? That means that we wouldn't see Israel. Okay, right? We wouldn't, right? So, and somebody's occupying the land, which the heathen are occupying the land. That's why when you go to Revelations 3 and 9 and 2, which I'll get it real quick. I might as well. So Revelations 3 and 9, it's like it. It says, behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. Okay? Right? Seriously, it says, and this is true, right? Because they are going to worship before our feet. They will, right? And we will rule over them with a rod of iron, period. Verse 10, it says, and this is scriptures. This is prophecy. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptations, which shall come up upon the, so I could come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Okay, so yeah, the ones who say they are Jews, right, which are not Jews, right, they will come and worship at our feet. Okay, period. Okay, let me see if that was out on that. Let me see if it's some in Baruch 4. It says 6. It says, ye were sold to the nations, which we indeed were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved the Most High to wrath, you were delivered unto the enemies, right? And this is, again, right? We were delivered to the enemies because we moved the Lord to wrath, as it states in the curses that, we will be subject to a people if we didn't follow the Lord's law, okay, which we didn't. That's why we are the lowest people on the pole, but we are going to be the greatest people on the pole. And we're actually on our way to be, because that house is the house of David is being rebuilt, and Yahweh Shai is that chief cornerstone. Okay, it's the 7. It says, for ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to the Most High, right? The other nations can do that because they're not under the law, right? But we can't do that because we are under the law indeed. Okay, I'm gonna go down to 14. It says, let them that dwell in Zion, come and remember ye the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting hath brought upon them, right? Because this thing was brought upon us from the Most High, not, yeah, through the hands of Esau, right? But Esau is the Most High's sword, right? So, he helped for the affliction, okay? But you had no power but the power that the Lord had gave you, okay? It says, let them that do, and now your power is being taken away from you. It says, let them that dwell about Zion come and remember ye the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting hath brought upon them. It says, for he hath brought a nation upon thee from far, a shameless nation, and a strange and of a strange language, who neither reverence old men nor pity child. And if you look, when we were in the yoke of iron, they didn't reverence old man or pity child. Okay, they haven't, man. Okay, they didn't. Okay, they didn't. And you could keep reading on this. I mean, I did several videos on this. You could keep reading, and this whole chapter is beautiful, right? The second chapter is beautiful as well. The whole book is, right? But I'll just jump to the point because the end is coming to this rulership, man, and I continue to preach and teach that, right? The end is coming to the rulership of you fucking heathen, man. And you motherfuckers will yield to Israel, man. Period. You will yield to us, man. And you will be ran over, and those who buck up will get ran over. So, and this is what's to come. Okay. So with that, man, Lord, one of the videos edifying, literally, I can got something from this video. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Kakadash. I want to tell you brothers, keep pushing on to the next. Shalom.